Hi guys, voiceover time. My wireless microphone failed again. Last night we had a ready meal in this plastic tray. So obviously I looked at it and I thought, rubber band powered car time. It's fairly rigid, so I'll drill a couple of holes in it at the back and at the front and another one at the end, and we'll have axles going through and tie the rubber band on the front. I picked up these bamboo canes the other day in a bargain store. I think it was about 99p for however many that is, and they're 4mm thick, which is a bit thicker than I normally get. I normally get 3mm thick, but yeah, they were a good deal, so I bought them. We'll need plastic bottle tops. These are off our milk bottles, 8 of them. I've actually got 9 there. I've got a handy bit of wood that we'll talk about later. Also got my favourite tool there. Also got 4 CDs or DVDs for the wheels. Sticky tape, which we'll use for sticking the plastic bottle caps onto the CDs. You can use hot glue or any other sort of glue that you prefer. If we use sticky tape, you do have the advantage of being able to move it a little bit afterwards to make them align. I've got that bradawl for making holes in it. It's just a metal spike with a wooden handle. The bamboo canes, it's worth checking them to see if they're actually straight. Quite often they're warped, and if they're warped, they won't be much good as axles. That second one's a little bit bent if I hold them together. Yeah, you might just see that one's just out of alignment. But I think that one's good enough for this purpose. And then finally, we got my favourite tool, a nail on a stick. I heat the nail up and use that for making holes in the plastic tray. The advantage of melting holes is that plastic doesn't split then. Sometimes when you just push a nail through or something, the plastic splits. Felt tip pen, that'll be handy for marking up the tray. And this is where we're going to use that bit of wood that's just got random holes in it. It'll just be handy for holding the pen still. So if we rest the tray on the little table there and make a mark, and then turn the tray round, still holding it flat, we get another mark. Do the same at the other end. And then we want something to get the height right. And just put a line along there. I think you can probably work out what we're doing here. What we should end up with is the axles are parallel front to back. And then where the crosses are, if we put the holes through where the crosses are, that's where our axles will go. If I just push a little hole through, that just means I can get the nail in the right place when I heat it up. Obviously, if you're not using a hot nail on a stick, you can make those holes bigger yourself. You need to make sure that the axles run freely in there. It just happens that nail is big enough that when it's melted a hole, those 4mm axles will go through it okay and have clearance. I've melted the holes. There we go. I forgot I need to put an extra hole at the end for the rubber band to tie to the tray, but I'll do that later. Now to do the CD wheels. You need those holes to be tight, so make the holes small so that when you push the bamboo cane through, it's actually gripped. You might be able to poke the holes through using the bamboo cane. Depends how hard your bottle caps are. These are quite soft. Obviously, it's a good idea to try and get them right in the middle, but one of the advantages of using the sticky tape to hold them in place is you can adjust it a little bit afterwards. This really doesn't need to be perfect. If you hot glue them in place, you have to get it right straight away. But as I say, because the tape's got a bit of flex in it, you can actually adjust it afterwards. Only a little bit. So you have to be reasonably accurate, but not spot on. So each CD is going to need 2 bottle caps. Yeah, so you can just wiggle them around a bit just to adjust them. And when you've got them in place, spin it round and see how straight it is. And if it's not straight, just push it around. And like I say, you'll be surprised how easy it is to get it right. The next thing is, when you put that in place, you'll notice the wheel's actually rubbing on the side of the tray. That's no good. You need a spacer in there just to push the wheels out a little bit. So I'm going to use a drinking straw. Just cut some short lengths of drinking straw to push the wheel away from the chassis, plastic tray. Paper drinking straw, just measure it so you've got clearance so the wheel doesn't actually rub on the plastic. And there we go, nice and clear. Repeat 3 more times. Oh, and obviously we need some rubber bands. These are just cheap ones from Tesco in this case. I do actually have a video on how to join rubber bands together. Basically, push one through the other loop, then pull it back through its own loop. Job done. You only need a length long enough just to reach to the back axle. If it's longer than that, then you're just wasting the rubber bands. So there's the hole that I put through for attaching the rubber band. Put the rubber band through, put it through itself, and there you are, attached. It's actually slightly too long, but that'll do. Then you put it over the axle, roll it round so it goes over itself, and that holds it in place. And if it doesn't spin freely like that, you've done something wrong. That works. That works absolutely fine. Quick summary: a plastic ready meal tray, 4 CDs or DVDs, 8 plastic bottle tops, 2 bamboo canes, a drinking straw for the spacers, and rubber bands. Tools, we used something to make holes, a metal spike or whatever you like. I used my hot nail on a stick to melt holes. Oh, and sticky tape for sticking the bottle caps onto the CDs. And that's it. Job done.